Well, hello.
How are we doing tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to 2Dudes, 1Garage.
Welcome. So, Alex, how you doing, man? How was your day?
Good. Doing great. Looking forward to doing this tonight.
Awesome. So we're about to crack open these beers. Cheers.
Cheers. Some modern times.
All right. So, as far as today's cryptocurrency price by market cap, the global crypto market as of today is 2.36 trillion. It was down as a last podcast just a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and go through some recaps.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to be touching on just kind of why things are a little bit down at the moment. Kind of getting into that and a couple different topics that are going on this week. So, I know you want to start by pulling up Ethereum.
And here we have Ethereum.
And this graph cracks me up because if we look at 2018, 2019, I don't know if you can hover over that, but basically, we're looking at $100 Ethereum, $150 Ethereum, and it's just funny to me because people think you can't make money in this market. And what are we at? We're at 4,000 now. And I know, Ethereum is like a gold standard, silver standard of crypto in general. But I mean, you got to be crazy to think you can't make money in this market. And that's, just within the last, 2 to 4 years. And you got to think ahead of time that, okay, if you can find good projects, they're gonna be doing at least going in that trajectory, not necessarily that high of a return, but 2, 5, 8 times is not unfounded and can totally happen on any good project. So I think that's kind of the goal, right? Is to look for things that can potentially grow. It just cracks me up when there's people say there's no money to be made. So yeah, just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, so Ethereum is pretty much one of the cryptocurrencies that has not felt this crypto winter that we're looking at today. I don't know if it's exactly winter crypto, but I mean, we're looking at 50% discount, Black Friday, on sale, everything must go type of sales going on right now. Everything's red. It's been red for a couple of days now, and it just keeps getting lower and it's stagnant. It's actually trading sideways at these prices. Typically it drops and spikes back up in a couple of days. So right now we're just gonna go ahead and look at another coin that's not as stable as Ethereum.
Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot going on here, and I think a big thing is regulatory compliance, and people get nervous about Biden in his tax bill and everything was pretty harsh on crypto, and they're having to go back and clarify some of the laws because they're going to be way too stringent on traders, and everyone's a broker, and it's just kind of crazy, right? So I think there's that, and just the overall financial markets, stock markets, not doing as good, and because crypto is so much smaller, it just takes a nice hit too. I was hearing that India banned crypto also. It's you always hear these crazy stories, and whether they're true or not, the market really does react, and a lot of times it's just people being, really nervous. And it's kind of funny because it's very predictable. A lot of the time it's people get nervous for a week to, a month, and then all of a sudden there's new money, or people that see that price point and they just pop in because they're just ready for it to drop so they can just pick it up. So there's so many things like that. And I still think the market is super healthy, and 20, 30, maybe even 40% corrections are totally great and healthy for the overall market. There's no problem with that. And just to keep that in mind, I think the longer you do this, the more you kind of account for it and you see it. And I'm at the point where I'm this doesn't make me nervous at all. I'm not concerned. I think it's great. I'm just, having fun on the ride. No issues, smooth sailing for me. So I don't know what you think about this. I think you're pretty like set here too, because I'm gonna speak for you. But here,
Yeah, so I pulled up Polkadot here. Um, you can see Polkadot at the beginning of the year was hovering around $8. It had that February pump, the 30.
everything was going up during that like
Yeah, during that time frame, yeah,
April May time, just
yeah,
popping off.
it was like altcoin season there, and then it kind of cooled off in June time. Like everything, they had the China ban, and it started picking up again. It dropped down to 12. It started picking up again. A lot of momentum. Shot up to 53, and now we're down at 28. So we're getting close to that, or I think we might be at that 50% discount price on sale. Everything must go situation. So,
And honestly, yeah, like a couple days ago or like last week, like
whoa, time out here.
sorry,
You gotta talk to me.
sorry, yeah, just like the last couple days, maybe a week, but like almost everything's been down. And I think it's finally maybe some of it's starting to come back up or stabilize. Yeah, no, once again, not really a problem, but just like we're just monitoring the market here and kind of just letting you know what's going on. So,
Yeah, just even looking at the recent 3 months, we're at 35, rallying up. Everything was rallying up at that point. Hit 54. And going into November, things just started going down. And now we're in the red to $26 and back up to $28. And that's pretty much most of the cryptocurrency that's probably, I would say, in the top 10 and below. Anything that's above top 10, they're pretty stable. They keep their value.
Luna's been doing really well.
Yeah, Luna's been doing well. Yeah. Binance is doing well. Obviously, Ethereum is doing well also.
Yeah, stabilizing basically.
Yeah, it's a stable trading sideways, not having
this bad boy, man. This thing's just been on fire.
All right, so let's take a look at Luna. So Luna's at $75.94. And let's go through the year to date because we got to get the big spectrum here. We have to know what we lost or what are potentials that we could have had.
Look at that 80 cents, boys.
80 cents, 75 cents. We're looking at 75 cents.
Now we're at $75. So
75 cents. And then we had the March through April. Everything was pumping at that point. It was alt season. It shot up to $21.
And I think this is just like a new project at the time, or, fairly new. So, it's popping off at $15 is the top it's going. It's not like super defined at the moment I think the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so it was pretty much all hype. Everything was all hype. Everyone's excited about crypto. They want to invest. They're getting into it, just getting their feet wet. And then we had the winter, the June winter. We're in the Antarctic, so it's cold there in June. And then we hit, August time. We're in summer again. Summer's coming up. We're excited. Fun in the sun, $30. And it rallies all the way up to December, $60, $65. And it really hasn't lost any momentum at all. Even looking at the month, zooming in on the month, it just keeps going up. Today, 13%. Starting off in November, even though the year to date showed November having a massive pump. But if you zoom in to the month, you look at the beginning of November, you're looking at $50, and it just decreases to, we're looking at the lowest part of the valley, $38, and it rises back up to $75, and we're sitting at $76. So we're at the highest point it's ever been.
Right. Yeah, so I've looked into this a little bit, and they're doing a lot of interesting things with stablecoins, and there's like some promising projects here. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't like done extensive research. I do like it. There's a couple coins that I picked out last couple months, but yeah, Luna, Avalanche, Solana, all those I kind of like thought like, okay, these could do very well, and I was kind of happy to at least like call them. some of us already have our bets, or we kind of like our projects, so we don't, jump around all the time. But some people love to do that. But it's nice to see at least have a good idea, pulse of the market, what's going on. So yeah, we'll see where Luna Terra goes from here. Kind of looks like it might have topped out, but we'll see.
So let's move on to the crypto moguls prepare for Capitol Hill. 6 cryptocurrency chiefs will testify about the promises and prelims of their industry.
Basically, this is like literally tonight. Haven't really heard or haven't looked up what, kind of some of the results were. But yeah, so they're trying to figure out just the government's trying to get a better idea, I think a better understanding of crypto, and kind of like so they can regulate in a fair way, in a healthy way, because they really don't want to kill the market or anything. They're not here to, damage, or, they really want to see innovation and thriving in a fair way, because they just know that's best for everybody and best for our country, I think a lot of people think like, oh, if a country bans it or makes it illegal, like, well, that's, good for them. But I think they realize, long term, they're just going to be behind in the crypto race. And like, there's money that, the country can get in on by working with these people that are going to be working anyways. I mean, so yeah, they're just trying to get, sounds to me like just a lot of answers. I don't know how much grilling's going on, but I guess we're going to find out soon enough, right? I'm sure it's not going to be super pretty for them.
So per the NewYorkTimes.com states, Congress gets a crash course on crypto. Today, the chief of 6 cryptocurrency companies will testify before the House Financial Services Committee about the promises and prelims of crypto assets. It's the first time crypto executives have been summoned by the lawmakers in this way, a sign of the industry maturity and the risks that the regulators see in its rise. So this is actually, it sounds very negative, but I feel like it's a positive thing, because it's gone its way up to Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. And they're understanding that crypto is not going away. It's here to stay. And it is the people's choice. The people chose this. They want crypto. They're tired of the banks taking all the money, giving us very bad interest rates. And what's up with these overdraft fees, man? I've never had an overdraft fee on my crypto wallet. They just say, hey, you don't have enough funds. Get out of here, loser.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, do they close your wallet? Sorry, time to collect. I've never seen that, reverse option. You don't get no letter from Ethereum or Cardano or Luna saying, oh, you owe us money. Where is it? Yeah. Binance isn't calling most of the time. So, yeah, I definitely think this is a really good story, kind of something I touched on kind of earlier. I do think they think it's like a, serious, and regardless, it's just getting so big that it's like, okay, we got to figure out our place in all this, because people have interest, and it's in their best interest to, like it says right here, fact-finding mission. Will help members determine what steps to take on crypto issues. A committee aide said he declined to provide a timeline for the legislative action, but acknowledged it would come soon. So, yeah. And then it also says here, stablecoins are likely to be a major point of discussion. These fast-growing crypto assets pegged to the value of stable assets such as the dollar are key transactions of volatile crypto markets. That's something we're going to touch on a little bit, kind of Tether. Backing of some stablecoins isn't as stable as issuers have claimed, raising concerns about digital bank run that could threaten the wider economy, which is like all very, legitimate questions. And they kind of got to ask like, hey, are you like causing some issues that can cascade for the, the rest of our economy? Is very serious and good questions to be asking. Crypto executives will tell lawmakers to think big. Brian Brooks, who was acting comptroller of the Trump administration, now heads the blockchain tech company Beard Fury, said the American lawmakers are too preoccupied with small issues. Stablecoin issuers should be granted banking charters. Yeah, so a lot of good stuff. I think a lot of very legitimate questions. I think this is awesome for cryptocurrency, honestly. I think it's just a big growing pain. So, and there's going to be a lot of those, a lot of setbacks, a lot of like, jumping 3 ahead, 1 back, 2 back, and 4 ahead. So I think we're in a good spot here. Yeah.
And there is no such thing as bad publicity. Honestly, this is great publicity. This is going to get the people thinking like, what is Congress doing right now talking about crypto? I thought that was only for drug dealers and murderers and shady drug lords. Why are they trying to accept this shady drug lord money into our nation, our great nation?
All those hippies buying those NFTs.
Yes, all these hippies thinking that their fake digital art's gonna get them rich and wealthy, and they're gonna be able to buy houses and fancy cars with some kind of fake art,
with pixel art,
pixel JPEGs. Like, you know what I mean? And these people out here running around smoking jewels with their thumb drive, freaking vaping pens. Come on, man. All right, moving onward. Let's move on. There is more to come soon. The Senate Banking Committee just scheduled a hearing on stablecoins for next week. The witness list has been finalized. Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio, Buckeyes. The committee Democrats chairman and vocal crypto critic told Deal Books he was reviewing responses to a letter he recently sent to the majority of the stablecoin issuers and investors that asked about their operations and relationships. Like the White House hearing, the Senate events will be stepped towards the legislature, and he said, adding that he was working together with, our favorite SEC regulatory and treasury department. The senator does not expect the crypto executive to say much that he has not heard before, recalling the financial wizard who promoted mortgage backing securities ahead of the 2008 financial crises. He asked, "When are we going to learn?" Brown added, "I want responsible innovations, and that means rules. Lay the rules on me."
That's other news there. Yeah, other news. But honestly, like that kind of just touched on like the whole pandemic thing, and I do think because there's new information that's also freaked the market out, the general financial market. That's something I was going to touch on too. So it kind of just spills over into crypto in such a big way. So I think there's a lot of factors that are pushing down just everything in the moment, but I don't think there's any reason to be concerned. Yeah, honestly, I don't think a lot of time we would read so much of an article, but this is like super breaking, and I think it is kind of relevant because there's going to be a lot to come out of this. A lot of conversation on both sides, I think. But overall, hopefully, just like a step in the right direction. Like I said, Biden did pass some laws with the taxes that like kind of put a nice little dent into crypto, at least like when it came to regulatory, just the wording of things, and like having to clean that up is like a main, like a big deal right now. So I think this is really important for that to happen. So yeah, what do we want to do next?
You want to move on
to Tether?
Yeah, let's move on to this.
So you want to talk about Tether a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Okay, just coming back to stable coins. What a stable coin is pretty much it's a coin that's in crypto. Believe it or not, it does not fluctuate. It remains the same to whatever currency you want, aka fiat, which is a US dollar, British pound, whatever you want, whatever your currency is, that's what USDT will be stable to or compared to, and it will not fluctuate. It might fluctuate up 0.001, but nothing greater than that. So
that's really interesting. That's really interesting too, because I know, because we, both live in the US, that it's pegged to the dollar, but I actually don't know the conversion rates or this or that when it comes to other things. Like if it's, the ruble or the yen or whatever, like I'm assuming the it's pegged to X amount and then it doesn't fluctuate. Or is it all just like US dollar fiat because that's just like a major world currency? I don't know, but regardless, we do know that it's pegged to the US dollar 100%. That's USDT. But that's a general idea. It's pegged to a certain amount of fiat currency, and it doesn't fluctuate from there. And there's, it's kind of funny on CoinMarketCap because sometimes it will fluctuate like a 1.1111, or 0.0001, or whatever. Kind of funny to see that, but yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, so according to decrypted.co, the Tether controversy, a brief history, wondering what all the fuss about Tether is about. Here's a quick explanation. We're going to go through the rundown, get to the nitty gritty. It may surprise some of you to hear that the dominating cryptocurrency in the market today isn't named Bitcoin. Tether USDT, a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, is the backbone of the entire crypto economy. It is far and away the most widely traded crypto asset around and responsibly for the vast majority of the trading volumes. Within the last 24 hours, for instance, Bitcoin recorded approximately 51 billion in volume in trading, buying and selling. Tether clocked in 89 billion buying and selling, trading.
There we go.
That's some transactions right there, buddy. Yeah, we're burning them servers right now. But the market's most important coin is also its most controversial. Tether fiercest criticism as that the stable coin artificially props up the market, believing that the coin is a ticking time bomb, and suggests that its eventually diminished will one day collapse the entire crypto market. Hyperbole? Maybe not. So touching back on what the article's saying is, it's stable to the US dollar, so therefore it's supposed to be 1-to-1. But they're also saying that the people that created or running USDT, they have the power to, like our US government, create money as they please, so basically, and it's unregulatory, just like our US government doesn't have regulatory as far as creating money, So they're just concerned that, are they going to create so much Tether that when people try to cash out, there isn't going to be anything there for them? I mean, Alex, what do you think? This is a very interesting subject.
Yeah, so basically, there's been like allegations and rumors and a lot of questions because Tether's the amount of Tether has just blown up over the last, year or two. And part of the, the problem is it's like, where's all this money coming from? And do you have the money to be good for the, I think it's 70 billion. I think it's 68 billion Tether or something ridiculous. And are we, so they did a little bit of investigation, and they sent back some like very questionable, poor looking pie charts and stuff that kind of look like somebody in high school made, honestly. It's very sketchy. But yeah, I kind of cut it up and said, okay, we do have fiat currency, and then we have like a mix of treasury bonds and this and that. And it seemed like it was like maybe okay, but it still like wasn't all accounted for. So, they were just basically saying like, oh yeah, it's here. And it's like, just believe us. And it's like, well, that's kind of weird. So the concern is that Tether will pump up the market and, kind of maybe have the market implode. Leo and I have talked about this. I think the long term of crypto, I think it will be fine. I think it will, if that ended up happening, would see like a major hit to the market for quite a long time. People already get scared a lot about very non-legitimate things, about things getting delisted or this or that, or something goes offline for a short amount of time, which some is legitimate, some isn't. But a lot of people get afraid for no reason. So you can imagine Tether imploding. It's like, oh my gosh, crypto's gonna have some problems for probably a year and a half is my guess, if that even happens. So I think that they are gonna have to work with lawmakers and create some sort of deal that do you have the money? If you don't, how are we able to regulate this economy of you're not backed and you're not good for this? So this, I think they did get fined recently for kind of moving money around in a questionable way, because it was kind of to deal with a couple other companies that were involved. I don't know if it was Bitfinex or something like that, but yeah, I do still think that crypto overall would not completely, implode, but it would take a while to come back. So it is a very Tether overprinting money, as like, we're seeing in the regular economy of overprinting. Like, it's concerning, and it does cause a lot of issues. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Alex, would it be fine if I light this up?
Go for it.
All right. Cigar. So Tether. What do we need Tether for when we have the US dollar? That's the question, right? What is Tether? And why would it be pegged to the US dollar? Well, when you're in a platform, especially like a Chinese platform like KuCoin or Bitforex, Bittrex, you typically will transfer Litecoin, Bitcoin, Doge, Cardano. You transfer those currencies, but when you sell in the platform, they don't just give you, the yen or whatever origin crypt or fiat, which is their currency, value. They give you USDT, which is the United States dollar tether, because the dollar is a dominant fiat in the world. So they will give you USDT in order for you to keep it in your account while you're in the midst of transferring, or in the midst of between a trade where you're trying to, you're not swapping cryptocurrencies. You're unsure if you're going to buy back in. So you hold on to the tether, and once you're ready to commit to a crypto, or you see the prices are legit entry point, then you would use your tether to buy that cryptocurrency in exchange. So that's what Tether is. And it's actually, it helps out a lot, because I've actually sent Tether across the world to people in Thailand, South America, instantaneous, no question, doubt about it. They get their money. I get my NFTs. I get whatever exchange we're transacting at that point. It's amazing. And also there's this little thing called gas fees, and gas fees is pretty much the energy that it costs to log your transaction in the good old blockchain. And blockchain is all it is a fancy word for saying a ledger. So the gas fees on USDT are very minimal, typically from $1 to $2, depending on where you're sending it. And also, there's different kinds. There's a ERC20, TRC20, and I can't remember the other one, but but those are the two I use. And ERC20 is the most expensive because it runs on, you guessed it, Ethereum blockchain. And TRC, I have no idea where it runs from.
Yeah, so thankfully there are other options with Tether, and he was saying that like there is a lot of value in it, and people do, use it, and it's become really a mainstay of crypto. But thankfully we do have other options of, USDT, and I do, once again, I think Terra Luna has kind of some stablecoin functionality there, and like regardless if it's them or somebody else, they're gonna whoever ends up, able to solve some of the stablecoin, just like, how do I put it? There's not a lot of issues with stablecoins if they're pegged, but like dynamic options and yield farming and this and that like when you can diversify your functionality, and it's kind of something I talked about in the first podcast, like the more functionality and tools that you have that are legitimate and not some, strange over leveraged scam, like, there's more and more value. It's about innovation, right? So if you're able to find that, a company and a project is able to provide that, like, that's something that like the whole cryptocurrency space really is going to value, because, like we're having issues with Tether. USDT is great, but it's very basic. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't necessarily need to, if somebody's going to wonder, we're drinking Modern Times Wizard Nebula Hazy IPA. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I'm a fan.
You like it? Enjoy it?
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, thank you.